tell you, let me give you a hint. This AGM is the AGM of AGMs. I'm telling you. I so read out some story to you later on. But, right, my colleague director has just reminded me that there are a few persons logging on from overseas. I won't call the country anyway, because I never know that you can be so far and still be able to log on. This is where technology has gone at the public sector. So some persons way, way far overseas is logged on, like Miss Makalski Johnson, one of our long-time stalwart. She is on, she is listening. I know right now she's in a cozy little area there. I soon come for your coffee, a cup of the coffee there, Miss Makalski. But welcome all. Whether you're here in person, joining on the platform there, we welcome you all. I am seeing a long-time friend of mine. He's changing his seat. Let me look and see where I go first before me call him name. Let me see where I'm going first. Yeah, okay, I see where I'm going. I don't know where I'm going there so yet, but I'll check further. But Maurice Shanna, good to have you. You look like you're just ready to go serve the force. Very good, very good. Welcome all. Welcome all to this, our AGM. Mr. Secretary, is there any apologies for absence? Do we have any? None was brought to attention. All right, so we are rolling and we are good to go. So welcome. Enjoy. We promise you that we will be going through within the next necessary time frame, but then when we're in a bossy setting like this, we're not supposed to even be rushing. And all the necessary amenities are provided. Remember, the coronavirus still exists. We have all given out packages to every member with the necessary liquid in bottle there for you to sanitize. And in addition to that, we have respective stations where things are placed, where you can further sanitize as best as possible. We want to ensure that every ounce of the rules governing the Disaster Risk Management Act is complied with as we go through today. Thank you very much. At this point, the confirmation of minutes of the 52nd Annual General Meeting that was held on the 16th of October 2020, and discussion matters arising therefrom is where we are. I am now going to invite our Secretary, Mr. Errol Adams, to pilot this item on the agenda for me, please. Sir Adams, give him a hand, please. Thank you.
Good morning again, ladies and gentlemen. The minutes of the 52nd Annual General Meeting of the Public Sector Employees Cooperative Credit Union can be found on page 9 to 24, I think, of your booklet. Let me confirm that. Yes, page 9 to 24. May I have a motion for it to be taken as read? It having been circulated for some time now. Do we have a motion? Oh, I see Patsy Wallen. Any seconder? Patsy Wallen Lindsay. Mrs. Patsy Wallen Lindsay. Seconded by Mr. Stephen Watson. All right, we go straight into corrections. Starting on page 9. I know you'll have gone through the minutes already. I would have highlighted areas of concern. Any corrections on page 9? Corrections, page 9. How about page 10? Yes, Patsy, I see you. No, I think you're reading that wrong. Read it again. So you see from the board, I see a bullet point. I just say from the credit committee, I just see a bullet point. Yes. What about page 11? Any correction on page 11? Page 12? Page 13. We are dealing with corrections or omissions. You having been at the last meeting, something was said, but going through the minutes, you're not seeing it. Page 13. 14. Page 15. '16. 17. 18. Still on corrections. Page 19. Page 20. Corrections or omissions. Page 21. 22. 23. And finally, page 24. Okay. So that's the second bullet point, other prizes. So it's parks without an E. Noted. Any other correction? There be none other. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. The President will now take you through the matters arising from the minutes. All right. Oh, we have a confirmation. Confirmation. All right, so the corrections having been done, may we have a motion for the confirmation of the minutes? I see Mr. Christopher Phillips, seconder, Mr. Anthony Lewis. Moved by Mr. Christopher Phillips, seconded by Mr. Anthony Lewis. We now go to matters arising. Back to page 9. Any matter for discussion arising from page 9? How about page 10? Matters arising. Page 11. Page 12. '13. Page 14. Any matter arising on page 14? How about page 15? Okay. Page 16. 17. How about 18? 19. Nothing you want to discuss? Page 20. Page 19. You taking me back? Yes. We need to hear Mr. Lewis. Yes. Yes.
So just one thing, because we noticed that you have put the names of the individuals in the book at this time. So I just want to tell us about
Since the last time, what are the developments in terms of where we're going with delinquency and how our collections are?
Who's got it? Huh? Oh, I was advised that that's not matters arising.
All right.
Yes. But at that appropriate juncture in the meeting, you could raise that point again. Right. Right, page 20. Any matter as penned in the minutes you want to have a discussion on? Anything on page 22? And finally on page 24. Earlier we had the confirmation of the minutes. All in favor of that confirmation? All in favor? Aye. Any against? Abstention? Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary, for the able and capable way through which you took us regarding the minutes of the 52nd Annual General Meeting. Colleagues, permit me here just to pause to recognize Mr. Dawkins Brown, the Chief Executive Officer of Co-operative. Those are Crow or what? Oh, yes. Yeah, we always are. Yeah. We say crow is good enough. And as he would have told us. Right. Delighted to have you, sir. Looking as smacking as ever. All right. So, we continue on our agenda. And we now move to reports. And the first report here is that of the Board of Directors. And, are you ready to go? Christopher Phillips, you ready to go? Are you ready to go? Very good. That starts on page 25. I will allow you to find the page. Anthony Lewis, you ready to go? Maurice Shanna, you ready to go? Very good, very good. So we go now to the report of the Board of Directors for 2020. It is with esteemed pleasure to report on behalf of the Board of Directors of the Public Sector Employees Cooperative Credit Union Limited, PSECCU. The credit union, that is the PSECCU, recorded another successful year of operations despite the challenges faced as a result of the coronavirus, COVID-19, in its global pandemic affairs. We have recorded net profit of 45.5 million, growth of 9.8 million or 27.65%, and total asset of 3.83 billion or 6.6% over 2019. This success was due to hands-on action and navigation to the fast pace changing in the economic environment at the same time still satisfying our members' financial needs. I don't even like how you're going quiet for me, because I just read about 10 sentences, very historic, very great news, and I don't hear one nothing. I don't understand. I am going to repeat for emphasis, but I won't read every word. I am going to pluck out the critical parts of this first paragraph that I just read to you. In fact, after I read this paragraph, I can take back my seat. Before I read it though, I want you to realize that we up here as board of directors, we do not take for granted when you elected us and placed us here to manage your finances. We don't take it for granted. And so we stand proud right now in reporting to you as to what has been our stewardship for 2020. And even the children in England know that 2020 was one of the most challenging years right across the world. Despite that, let me further reiterate that this credit union came into being in 1968. If you are checking with me, we are 53 years old. What I just reported to you in terms of our net profit is the first in our 53-year history that we are recording this amount of money. A director said to me we must repeat it, and I have no problem. I had a good breakfast. It is the first in our 53 years, amidst a global pandemic, amidst the challenges of the financial environment, amidst the many things that has happened in terms of layoff and shutdowns and so forth, we were able to navigate all the different spheres of waters, providing for our members timely services, and was able to deliver in this regard. You know, it would be remiss of me, even at this early part of the presentation, not to properly recognize those, because board of directors go into credit union basically once per month for a meeting. But those that are there on a daily basis, paddling, navigating, ensuring that policies and procedures and guidelines are adhered to, ensuring that members' satisfaction remains rich and true, are the ones that deserve all the credit. Let me pause for right. So, what CEO just pointed out to me is that right in that very first paragraph where you're seeing the 6.6%, it is really 15. What is it, 15.5? Right. So just hold on to that in terms of the percentage growth. But in terms of the actual figures, these are in these challenging times, when the ship rocks, when the tides are high, when the crew is wondering how it is going down, what is crucial in any avenue that you are is who is the captain of the ship. When you have a good captain, despite all the challenges, you can feel assured, you can feel reassured, you can feel comfortable. I speak of none other than our Chief Executive Officer and the august team that he has around him. Give them a round of applause. In fact, I'm going to say it now that I remember, and I don't want it to slip me. I'm going to say it early. It's not in the script, but it is worthy of mention. We cover the entire island, physically, and we cover the entire world, virtually. But in terms of our physical space, we have a branch in Area 1, covering the parishes of Hanover, Westmoreland, St. James, and Trelawney, headed by a female. We have a branch in Area 2, covering the parishes of St. Mary, St. Anne, and Portland, a place I am familiar with, headed by a female. We have a branch in Area 3, covering the parishes of Manchester, St. Elizabeth, and Clarendon, managed and being led by a female. We have a branch in Portmore, covering that side of St. Catherine, Spanish Town, and even parts of Kingston 2 and Clarendon, headed by a female. I whisper to one and two of them since man has said me I go say it, because it is worthy to be said, especially in this era we talk about gender neutrality and gender balancedness in all respect. These females are leading, and so these figures that we are reporting is not just by head office, it's by all the work that is being done right across the island of Jamaica. But you have a good captain. Captain Bramfield. Captain, you know, tell you the truth. May I say it publicly, me love him. Man of wisdom, man of experience, man of integrity, and a man who cares. And that is why you see all of what you are seeing now. I continue reading. In 2020, the PSECCU reviewed its strategy with the aim of ensuring that we stayed relevant in delivering the products and services that our members need to improve their financial well-being. Additionally, with the dynamic evolution of technology, specifically in the financial sector, this review ensured that our policies and procedures mirrored our changing environment, our national economy. The global economic environment underwent the effects of the coronavirus pandemic and the regulatory and social measures that were utilized to contain. Jamaica's economy declined by an estimated 10.2%. This decline marked the first of contraction following 7 consecutive years of GDP growth. The tourism industry contracted, but Jamaica experienced increased remittance inflows. And as at December 31st, 2020, the local currency traded at an exchange rate of 142.65 to the US dollar. This represents a 7.6% depreciation in the value of the Jamaican dollar for the year relative to 29. The rate of depreciation for 2020 was the rate recorded for 2019. Employment levels also declined during 2020 as an outcome of COVID-19. The latest unemployment data from Statin showed an unemployment rate of 10.7% to reverse previous year-on-year improvement. Approximately 92,600 fewer persons were employed in October 2020 relative to October 2019. Monthly rates of inflation remained low, with an annual rate of 6.4% being recorded for 2020. During 2020, the BOJ, Bank of Jamaica, maintained the policy rate of 0.5% per annum. The central bank's decision was based on its assessment that inflation would continue to trend within the bank's inflation target of 4 to 6% over the next 2 years. Despite the challenges faced as a result of the pandemic, the domestic financial system registered growth in its net loans, deposits, and assets. For the calendar year 2020, the financial sector recorded overall loan growth of 9% and deposit growth of 16.2%. Total asset in the financial sector grew by 11.7%. The loans growth recorded was above what was expected in the context of the sharp fallout in economic activity, and the total loans portfolio in the market now exceeds $1 trillion. The Jamaica Credit Union movement also reported growth in its loans, savings, and asset portfolio, with improved performance in some areas relative to 2019. The credit unions ended the year with net loan growth of 3.6%, savings of 9.9%, and assets growth of 9.6%. Credit union movement performance. The Jamaica Cooperative Credit Union League, JACOL, 2020 annual report reported that despite the environmental challenges, the 25 credit unions that constitute the movement witnessed improvement in total asset, net loans, savings, and membership for the year ended December 31, 2020. Total savings grew by 9.94% from 96.25 billion in 2019 to 105.825 billion at the end of 2020. The value of loans increased from 88.436 billion to 91.602 billion, or 3.58%, which was below the rate of growth of the industry. Total asset increased by 9.58% to 137.033 billion, up from 125.048 billion. Credit union membership increased in 2020, moving from 1,034,962 to, wait, I made that sound good, sir? From 1 billion to 1,006,557,000 recorded as at December 2019. All 25 credit unions recorded growth in total savings relative to 2019, and 11 recorded double-digit growth. Growth in loans in 2020 was achieved by 18 of the 25 credit unions. Of the 18 credit unions, 12 witnessed a growth rate that exceeded 3.58% increase achieved by the movement. While all 25 credit unions recorded growth in asset, only 18 achieved asset growth that was above the recorded calendar year inflation of 6.4%. Public sector employees cooperative credit union limited performance for 2020. So I come right back home now. I was general a while ago. I'm right back home now. The public sector employees cooperative credit union limited, PSECCU, achieved another successful year of operation, resulting in total asset of 3.83 billion. 3.083 billion. Yeah, man, somebody start the clap, man. And growth revenue of 356 million. Expenses were contained at 0.68% or 310.4 million, resulting in net income, and this is what I said earlier, but me have to say it again, resulted in net income of 45.5 million or 27.65% for 2020. You elected us and placed us here, we ain't a joke. But as I said, take out board and committees out of it. The hard work is being done across the island by a lot of these men and women sitting there. And the branches are being managed by females. Excellent. Excellent. So, 2020 performance, and whilst we're going through, you are seeing some pictures of some people on the screen here. You determine if they are looking good or handsome or otherwise. Not I won't. Gross revenue grew by 11.9 million or 3.4%. Net income grew by 9.8 million or 27%. Total asset grew by 424.1 million or 15.95%. Loans to members grew by 333.4 million or 15.28%. Savings grew by 349.6 million or 19.50%. Deferred shares grew by 1.2 million or 91%. Capital base. The public sector employs cooperative credit union objectives when managing capital are to safeguard our ability to continue as an ongoing concern, to provide returns to you, our members, and benefits to other stakeholders, and to maintain a strong capital in order to support the development to fit the business of the credit union. Thank you, Sir Adams. As a result of the financial impact, the PSECCU implemented new measures to monitor and manage capital. Measures include ongoing monitoring of sensitivity analyses to determine the impact of downward adjustment on regulatory ratios and projected profitability, and the level of capital adequacy, and how additional capital could be raised as needed. Also monitoring of increased provisioning through the expected credit loss, ECL, and the correlation of defaults with loss given default, and higher delinquency and loan write-off. So these are some of the things that we keep very alert about, all to ensure that we maintain and keep at top of our game. We, however, continue to work in readiness for the draft Credit Union Act and regulation, which is the main requirement for licensing. Under the draft Credit Union Act and regulation is capital adequacy, and our institutional capital stands at 11.8%, which is above the minimum requirements set by the Jamaica Cooperative Credit Union League, Pearl Standards, and Bank of Jamaica primary ratio of 8% and 6% respectively. So we're well and truly ready for whatever is to come. Financial performance, key operating areas. The savings and deposit fund at the end of 2020 stood at 2.14 billion, up from 1.8 billion reported in December 2019, representing a year-over-year increase of 349.6 million or 19.50%. Savings and deposits growth was driven by several marketing initiatives which focus on investment of our members and providing the tools required to grow wealth management. This includes savings program and offering a premium rate of return. The loan portfolio at the end of 2020 stood at 2.5 billion, up from 2.18 billion reported at the end of December 2019, representing a year-over-year increase of 333.4 million or 15.28%. Loans disbursed totaled 1.3 billion. And when you look at the table below, you will see what has occurred over the last 10 years. The International Financial Reporting System, known as IFRS, number 9 provisioning. The PSECCU adopted the International Financial Reporting Standard that requires the recognition of expected credit losses, ECL, for certain financial assets. The IFRS 9 standard has significantly impacted how the credit union makes provisions for its delinquent loans. The loan loss allowance increased by 33.76% or 15.3 million to 60 million at the end of 2020 from 45 0.5 million at the end of 2019. The increase in the loan loss was mainly due to adjustment in how the provisioning for delinquent loans were calculated. The delinquent loans increased by 18.09% over the period, moving from 65 million at the end of 2019 to 76.8 million at the end of 2020, a difference of 11.77 million. We continue, however, to employ several efforts to make the delinquency to include telephone calls, written reminders, warnings on a monthly basis, employment of debt collectors, and pursuing legal action. We also assess members' credit history through the services of the Credit Bureau. So all the necessary legal avenues in order to manage this particular area is being employed by our credit union. Risk and compliance. Public sector employees credit union has established an enterprise risk management framework which incorporates the board, management, and staff to identify, measure, and reduce risk. The credit union has implemented policies, procedures, and programs to prevent and detect money laundering and the finance of terrorist activities in compliance with the Jamaica Anti-Money Laundering and Counter-Financing of Terrorism, AML, CFC, you see it in bracket there, laws. Our Deputy Chief Executive Officer of Credit and Compliance is the appointed, nominated Risk and Compliance Officer. He has the role of Enterprise Risk Management, which is the core function of Enterprise Risk Management in the credit union, and to ensure significant risk undertaken to increase profitability are adequately identified and managed. The credit union continues to maintain a high level of compliance with all laws and regulations relating to its operation. Through the year 2020, the credit union ensured its legal obligation with regards to money laundering and terrorist financing, that these were met by completing the following activities: threshold and suspicious transaction reporting to the designated authority. Customer due diligence was conducted. Updating our customer service information is critical in this process, and these are things that are done. Employees' integrity documents were signed. Evaluation of the credit union's compliance with the laws and regulations were conducted. And you also had training in the anti-money laundering and counter-terrorism, finance of terrorism activities. And retraining, training and retraining of staff, management and volunteers. These are ongoing processes. We are aware of the BOJ. We are aware that the BOJ will be considering the credit union's risk management framework for licensing, and we are committed to providing management with the tools and resources required to implement a robust risk management framework with emphasis on money laundering and terrorist financing. Staff development. Human resource enables and supports the execution of strategies through the building of organizational capability. We ensure that our volunteers, committee members, management and staff were being trained to the highest level of proficiency relevant to their job function to be able to give quality service and professional advice to our membership, committee members, management and staff, to add significant value to the credit union and personal development to its volunteers, management and staff. Several internal training sessions were conducted via online platform, covering areas such as customer service, sales and cross-selling, customer chart and complaints procedure, proceeds of crime act, known as POCA, management policy and products and services overview. Board of directors, management staff and committee members also participated in training programs such as financial instrument of the IFRS 9, credit administration, classification and provisioning, and non-accrual requirement workshop, Insolvency Act awareness session, business continuity planning and sensitization workshop, audit technique for supervisory and internal auditor, orientation for new credit union staff, delinquency management, and meeting protocols for credit union presidents and secretaries. Staff complement. At the end of 2020, the credit union had a total staff of 52 employees operating from the head office and 4 other branches. Throughout the year, 2 staff members were employed and 1 employee resigned. Marketing, products and services. The year 2020 saw planned member activities engagement being cancelled due to the coronavirus pandemic. However, the PSECCU was resilient in their efforts to overcome the many challenges faced and found new ways of doing business and reaching to our prospective and current members. Notwithstanding the many challenges faced, the PSECCU marketing department managed to keep the credit union's brand visible on several media platforms. Here's a particular one on TVJ. When I see that one, I don't tell you why I love it. But when I see that one, it looks so refreshing and nice. And then when you listen to the many different, I'm coming around to that, because this marketing here is a crucial part in the communication channel to inform, to clarify, to bring to notice, to keep timely updates. Very essential. Access Plus, Debit, Mastercard upgrade. Listen this. The PSECCU, in conjunction with the Jamaica Cooperative Credit Union League, Jackal, is currently upgrading the debit card switch and will be offering a new Access Plus Debit Mastercard with other enhanced services. The upgrade will significantly improve the features and offerings of the credit union debit card, such as EMV. Woo! Oh, that term I mean again. EMV is Europay, Mastercard, and Visa. In fact, you're now going to see card with that chart of a chip technology where you have embedded with micro processing chip that enables you to not only shop anywhere you want to shop around the world, but offers far greater security in terms of your finances. This is where we are going. The new debit card will allow for international point of sale. Cause my brethren tell me, my brethren since me not talk about your business. Man responses man say I go to Timbuktu. So I say no problem. This new card can shop anywhere and buy you anything. By the way, I know you all know that there's a place known as Timbuktu. Alright? Yes. In fact, it says it has some of the brightest. It has some of the brightest African American in Africa. You have the Timbuktu University. When I was growing up and you say you man from Timbuktu, I thought it was something that didn't exist. Until we read and learn more, eh? Until we read and learn more. The additional, back to script. The additional services that will accompany the new Access Plus Debit Mastercard include enhanced internet banking services and bill payment through Paymaster. Credit unions will also have the opportunity to provide interconnectivity services, which will allow members to conduct transactions at any one of the credit union branches island-wide. The Jackal is in the process of getting regulatory approval. Once completed, the current debit cards will be recalled and replaced free of charge. That is where we're going. So look from this, you saw a bossy card with chip technology. Where you drive deal. A little bogus thing where you have here now. Right? You give a bossy upgrade thing. Anywhere you go, it does. In fact, I have one little one from one little place where Mr. Bramfield go show me. And me go to a place, I buy something and just push it down or something. So me ready to tell the lady, say, it's not credit card, you know. She said, no sir, see it has the chip on it, it can use that. I said, okay. Okay, because you remember me a caveman, you all know that. Savings and investment. As we encourage our members to build and maintain healthy financial practices, we continue to offer several savings and investment options, such as our deferred shares offering, special deposit account, regular deposit account, Christmas Club Saver account, and the Youth Saver account. One of the targets for the marketing department was to grow the special deposit account portfolio. And as at December 31, 2020, the portfolio recorded over 45% in growth to close the year at 904 million. So change that D to M, please. We will eventually get there down somewhere. But change that D, I'll have to just correct that. Change that D to M. So it's over 904 million, and an increase of 10% growth over the previous year. Other services. We continue to offer supplementary services such as Bill Express facility, family indemnity plan, insurance. Permit me to pause here for even 30 seconds on this one. FIP. FIP. I know everybody in here have it. But as part of this segment that I'm reading, which speaks to marketing, we are all marketers of the institution. And so every other member that you speak with, remind them of this. Remind them of the FIP. It's very important. And in that moment of bereavement, you can fall and you can smile. That is testimony. Repeat what you just said. You can fall and you can smile. And let me tell you why Mr. Murdoch is saying that. Because since you mention it, may I speak? Yes, sir. Thank you. So here is Christopher Murdoch, one of our board of directors. Sadly, he lost his dad earlier this week. Right? But you just hear him, me diet about FIP, and him just bust out in can ball and smile. And you all have common sense, you know what I'm talking about. So the very FIP is able to take care of the finances during this very difficult time. I mean, no matter what the smile part, because based on the top one we have, he can take care of bereavement and him have something left, can relax. So unlike in previous time where we have to go run all over the place and try borrow 10 cents in order to put your loved one to rest, and to do so with a certain level of dignity, FIP take care of that in every single solitary way. Get on board. Tell someone that the family indemnity plan insurance, it works. Your testimony you just get a while ago, and there are many others who can share likewise. So, critical illness insurance and group life insurance. Our products feature secured and unsecured loan for all purposes and savings account that attracts the most competitive rate of returns in the market. We have reduced interest rate on home acquisition loan, home equity loan, and new motor car purchase loan to 7.99%, down from 8.99%. We have reduced interest rate on home acquisition loan, home equity loan, and new motor car purchases to 7.99%, 8.99%, and 7.99% respectively. Thank you, sir. We have also partnered with the National Housing Trust, NHT, to be able to offer up to 1.5 million to members earning less than 42,000 per week to assist with home acquisition, deposit, repairs, purchase solar panel, etc. So it is all there. Come to the credit union. We have something waiting for you that can assist you to live more comfortable in your dwelling. Advertising and promotion. And I soon finish. As a result of the team not being able to engage members in face-to-face setting, special emphasis was placed on our advertising and promotional strategies to ensure our products and services were reaching our core membership and our target market. We engage in monthly television and radio advertisements on stations such as Television Jamaica, CVM TV, IRI FM, Power 106, Nationwide, Zip 103, and Mellow FM. Quarterly print advertisements were published in the Financial Gleaner as well as other publications in the Jamaica Observer. A billboard was also erected close to the Mandeville branch to ensure our brand visibility island-wide. There are several social media promotions on our Instagram and Facebook platforms, as well as digital campaigns on the Google network through Google Display Ads, Google AdWords, and TrueView in-stream ad. But let me tell you all something. I forgot to check come out I give. Customer Relation Management, CRM. Our goal is to improve member service relationships, maintain member retention, and drive sales growth. During the year, members were kept abreast of new products and product updates via quarterly newsletters, SMS messages, and email messages. Members were also able to submit queries via live chat on our website and on our social media pages for real-time responses. Welcome letters were also sent to every new member. Social and contributory programs. As a result of the measures set forth by the government under the Disaster Risk Management Act, our elderly members, 60 years and older, were issued stay-at-home orders. And we decided to act by providing, you serious? I look for mine. By providing care packages consisting of grocery items to retired needy members across the island. This part grabbed me, folks. I love the part about care, Remember the whole of folks. I love this. The program was very successful, and our members were very appreciative of the gesture. 1 million was awarded to 54 students who were successful in their PEP examination. 800,000 was awarded to 4 members studying at the undergrad and postgrad levels. Donation to members displaced by fire and other natural causes. Non-geoformation health and wellness day programs were also assisted. The social program, the social connectivity. These are some of the evidence, and I can tell you there were more things that they could list there that we have done short there. Conclusion here. Conclusion, that's where I'm at now. Notwithstanding the major impact of the global pandemic COVID-19 and the dynamic operating environment, we continue to employ the necessary strategies to achieve budgeted expense, greater income generation, and improved productivity to provide support and complement to you and our members against the impact of economic challenges. One member, may understand one member, see something on his phone, say, you have been pre-approved for an easy access loan. And him call the number that was there, him called the number and say, what this mean? And he explained to me, I understand him almost break down in tears because his vehicle was in dire need of some things. And right away, without even going into the institution, he was able to be assisted. My goodness. We remain accountable to our main stakeholders. We remain accountable to our members. We remain accountable to staff and volunteers with the discipline to embrace and withstand whatever challenges may come, and the cooperation that makes us resilient in the face of events like COVID-19. We will provide the necessary resources to offer the maximum protection possible to our members. the staff and their families as we traverse through this period together. Therefore, despite the challenges of the time, we will endeavor to continue to deliver you with competitive yields on your investment and concurrently offer a suite of loan products that are not only designed for your needs, but offer you at current industry rates. The next segment there shows the attendance of board members for the year 2020. Crystal clear on paper there. I am at the final 2 paragraphs of my report, ladies and gentlemen, and it speaks to appreciation. On behalf of the Board of Directors, I wish to thank the many individuals and organizations who partnered with us throughout the year 2020, namely the Department of Cooperative and Friendly Societies, the Jamaica Cooperative Credit Union League, Credit Union Fund Management, Centralized Strategic Services, Kuna Caribbean Insurance Jamaica Limited, National Union of Cooperatives. We could not have done it on our own, and so special appreciation to our Chief Executive Officer, Mr. Osman Bromfield, and his capable management team and staff for their prudent performance throughout the year. We thank the Credit and Supervisory Committee for their assistance throughout the year, and most of all, to you, the general membership, here physically, on the virtual platforms all over. We thank you, we thank you, we thank you for your support, for your trust, for your confidence over the period. It has been an honor to serve you throughout 2020, and we look forward to serving you again. To you and to all your family, have a merry, merry Christmas and a prosperous 2022. Blessings always. May I have a motion for the adoption of the report of the Board of Directors? Moved by Michael Farquharson, seconded by Jason Rodriguez. Sam Murdoch, get ready. We now move to our treasurer, Miss. Yes, all in favor? Aye. Any against? The ayes have it, thank you. Well, we now move to our treasurer. I understand that Andrew Johnson will take up this slot for Treasurer Murdoch. The floor is yours, sir.
Good morning, all. It's afternoon. Good afternoon. It is my pleasure to stand in for the Treasurer, Christopher Murdoch, who we are told is grieving the loss of his father. And it is especially a pleasure for me because of the performance of the public sector employees Co-op Credit Union over the period. At this time, I'm going to invite our auditors from Co-op to come forward and give their report.
Thank you, Mr. Treasurer and Sitting Treasurer, for the welcome. All protocol observed. I'm Dawkins Brown. I'm here representing your engagement partner, Ms. Simone Powell. Oh, with your permission. I'm Dawkins Brown. I'm here representing your engagement partner, Ms. Simone Powell. And my duty here today is to read the auditor's report, which is contained in your annual report from page 42 to page, and I'm doing this for a specific reason, from page 42 to page 90. Don't be shy, I won't be going through the 90 pages. So with your permission, I'm going to be applying the abbreviated version of the auditor's report. So following on page 43, report of the independent auditors to the Register of Corporates and Friendly Societies, Public Sector Employees Cooperative Credit Union Limited. Opinion. We have audited the financial statement of the Public Sector Employees Cooperative Credit Union Limited, the credit union, which comprises the statement of financial position as of the 31st December 2020. The statement of comprehensive income, statement of changes in equity cash flows for the year that ended, and notes to the financial statement, including a summary of significant accounting policies. In our opinion, the accompanying financial statement give a true and fair view of the financial position of the credit union as of the 31st December 2020 and of its financial performance and its cash flow for the year that ended in accordance with the International Financial Reporting Standard, IFRS, and the requirement of the Cooperative Society Act. Basis of our opinion. We have conducted our audit in accordance with the International Standards on Auditing, ISAs. Our responsibility under those standards are further described in the Auditor's Responsibility for the Audit of the Financial Statement section of our report. We are independent of the credit union in accordance with the International Ethics Standard Board of Accountants, Code of Ethics of Professional Accountants, IBAC, and we have fulfilled our other ethical responsibilities in accordance with the IBAC Code. We believe that the audit evidence we have obtained is sufficient and appropriate to provide a basis for our opinion. We outline below key audit matters which we reviewed during our audit. Important in those matters are the expected credit loss, and we have reviewed the procedures employed by the credit union to address those matters. Other information. Management is responsible for the other information. The other information comprises the information included in the auditor's report, but does not include the financial statement and our auditor's report thereon. The annual report is expected to be made available to us after the date of this auditor's report. Our opinion on the financial statement does not cover the other information, and we do not express any form of assurance conclusion thereon. In connection with our audit of the financial statement, our responsibility is to read the other information identified above when it becomes available, and in doing so, consider whether the other information is materially inconsistent with the financial statement, or our knowledge obtained in the audit or otherwise appear to be materially misstated. If based on the work we have performed, we conclude that there is a material misstatement in this other information, we are required to report that matter to those charged with governance. Management is responsible for the maintenance of adequate accounting records in accordance with International Reporting Standard, IFRS, and the Cooperative Society Act, and for preventing and detecting fraud and other irregularity, selection and application of appropriate accounting policies, making judgment and estimates that are reasonable and prudent, and design, implement, and maintenance of adequate internal financial controls that were operating effectively for ensuring the accuracy and completeness of the accounting records relevant to the presentation and preparation of the financial statement that give a true and fair view and free from material misstatement, whether due to fraud or error. In preparing the financial statement, management is responsible for assessing the credit union's ability to continue as a going concern, disclosing as applicable matters relating to the going concern, and using the going concern basis of accounting, unless management either intend to liquidate the credit union or to cease operation or has no realistic alternative but to do so. Those charged with governance are responsible for overseeing the credit union financial reporting process. Auditors' responsibility. Our objectives are to obtain reasonable assurance about whether the financial statement as a whole are free from material misstatement, whether due to fraud or error, and to issue an auditor's report that includes our opinion. Reasonable assurance is a high level of assurance, but it's not a guarantee that an audit conducted in accordance with ISAs will always detect a material misstatement when it exists. Misstatements can arise from fraud or error and are considered material if, individually or in the aggregate, they could reasonably be expected to influence the economic decision of users taken on the basis of these financial statements. As part of our audit in accordance with ISA, we exercise professional judgment and maintain professional skepticism throughout our audit. We also identify and assess the risk of material misstatement of the financial statement. We also obtain an understanding of the internal control relevant to the audit in order to design audit procedures that are appropriate in the circumstances. We also evaluate the appropriateness of accounting policies and use the reasonableness of accounting estimates and related disclosure made by management. We also conclude on the appropriateness of management use of the going concern basis. We also evaluate the overall presentation, structure, and content of the financial statement, including disclosures, and whether the financial statement represents the underlying transaction and event in a manner that achieves fair presentation. We also obtain sufficient appropriate audit evidence regarding the financial information of the credit union. Materiality is the magnitude of misstatement in the financial statement that individually or in the aggregate make it probable that economic decision of a reasonable knowledgeable user of the financial statement may be influenced. We consider quantitative materiality and qualitative factors in planning the scope of our audit and in evaluating the result of our work, and to evaluate the effect of any identified misstatement in the financial statement. We communicate with those charged with governance, among other matters, the planned scope and timing of the audit and significant audit findings, including significant deficiency in internal control that identified during the audit. We also provide those charged with governance with a statement that we have complied with relevant ethical requirements regarding independence, and communicate with them all relationship and other matters that may reasonably be thought to bear on our independence, and where applicable, related safeguards. From the matters communicated with those charged with governance, we determine those matters that were of most significance in the audit of the financial statement of the current period and are therefore the key audit matters. We describe those matters in our auditor's report unless law or regulation precludes public disclosure about the matter, or when, in extremely rare circumstances, we determine that a matter should not be communicated in our report because the adverse consequences of doing so would reasonably be expected to outweigh the public interest benefit of such communication. Report on additional matters as required by the Cooperative Society Act. We have obtained all the information and explanation which, to the best of our knowledge and belief, were necessary for the purposes of our audit. In our opinion, proper accounting records have been maintained so far as appear from our examination of those reports, and the financial statements which are in agreement therewith give the information required by the Cooperative Societies Act in the manner required. Report, Crow-Howard, dated May 14, 2021. Thank you.
you, Sir Crowhart. Can I have a motion for the report of the Treasurer to be taken as read? We are going to be very quickly going through this. Moved by George Hunter, seconded by Joel Betty. Right. I'm just going to read one section. I'm going to read the first section, and then I'm going to move around to the profitability section, which is really the highlight of the credit union's performance. All in favor of the motion? Aye. Any against? The ayes have it. Any abstain? Ayes have it. The Jamaican economy, like most other economies around the world, saw a significant decline during 2020. Jamaica had previously enjoyed 7 consecutive years of growth. The gross domestic product, GDP, declined by approximately 9.9% for the year 2020 compared to a growth rate of 0.9% for 2019. The decline in the economy also affected the finance and insurance service industry, which experienced a contraction of 5% during the final quarter of 2020. The inflation rate continued its increasing trend to 6.4% for the year 2020 compared to 6.2% for 2019. The realized inflation rate was above the projected range of 4% to 6%. The Jamaican dollar continued its depreciation against the U.S. counterpart, declining by 7.6% during 2020 compared to 3.8% for 2019. The dollar continued to fluctuate and set a record high of $151.27 during August 2020. It closed the year at 142.65 compared to 132.57 at the end of December 2019. Interest rates on investments remained low as the Bank of Jamaica policy rate held firm at 0.5%. The Treasury bill rates further declined as the 90 and 180 days instrument closed the year at 0.77% and 0.86%. After they had opened the year at 1.25 and 1.45 respectively. The financial sector continued its growth path with total assets increasing by 11.76% compared to 10.49% for 2019. Loans increased by 9.29% compared to 16.28% for 2019. And savings increased by 16.17% compared to 9.34% for 2019. Capital, however, increased by only 1.9% compared to 11.03% for 2019. The Public Sector Employees Cooperative Credit Union is reporting another successful year despite the challenges of the COVID-19 pandemic. We continue to grow and outperform the industry in most areas. Demand for loans remained strong, with net loans growing by 15.28% compared to 11.05% for 2019, a change of 333.43 million, moving from 2.181 billion at the end of 2019 to 2.515 billion at the end of 2020. Liquid assets increased by 37.34%, moving from 241 million at the end of 2019 to 332 million at the end of 2020, a change of 90 million. Growth in savings was strong at 19.5% or 350 million, moving from 1.793 billion and surpassing the $3 billion mark as it increased. Sorry, that should be the $2 billion mark, the correction in the report, as it increased to Sorry, just give me a second. All right, sorry about that. Let me read that again. Growth in savings was strong at 19.50% or 350 million, moving from 1.793 billion and surpassing the $2 billion mark and closing 2020 at 2.142 billion. I would love for it to be 3 billion, eh? Total equity increased by 7.12% or 28 million, closing the year at 442 million. We achieved a significant milestone with the total assets surpassing the $3 billion mark as it increased to 3.083 billion at the end of 2020 from 2.659 billion at the close of 2019, a difference of 424 million or 15.95%, making us one of the fastest growing financial institutions for the year 2020. And you can peruse those figures in the table and the graphic figure presented. I want to move over to, very quickly, to profitability. It is said that during every crisis there is an opportunity, and I'm on page 35. And we executed well during 2020 and made the best of our opportunity to generate the most revenues in the history of the credit union and achieved our most profitable year to date. And although you cheered when the chairman said it, I wouldn't mind if you cheered again, because it is good performance. We closed the year with a gross profit of 356 million compared to 344 million for 2019, an increase of 3.48% or 12 million. We know 2020 was a different year, a difficult year for everyone, but for your credit union, a recorded net profit of 45.5 million is a testament of the hard work and dedication to serve you, our valued members. The increase in net profit was 9.8 or 27.65% more than the net profit of 35.7 million recorded for 2019. Total comprehensive income declined from 47 million to 42 million, a change of 5 million or minus 11.05%. And the tables there also speak. I am going to just jump to the acknowledgement on page 37. After such a successful financial year, I must state my thanks and appreciation to the management and staff for their dedication throughout the challenges of 2020. It is hoped that they will continue the good work which contributed to another successful year for the credit union. I would like to thank the Department of Cooperative and Friendly Societies, Co-operative, Chartered Accountants, and Jamaica Cooperative Credit Union League for your support throughout the year. Most importantly, I would like to express my gratitude to the members who elected me to serve the board and to the directors who have entrusted me with the responsibility of treasurer. Signed, Christopher Murdoch. All right, so at this time, is there any question, comments for the treasurer? Right. The president in his report did mention, but I will read the delinquency section of the report. All right, you want to restate the question, Mr. Lewis? It was.
Such thing, where the persons who offer the guarantee or property for these loans are still can be reached.
You are speaking specifically to those loans that are published in the book?
Yes, it's in excess of 36 million.
All right, the CEO is going to address that.
They are in all categories, but mainly unsecure.
Yeah, okay.
So they are all in all categories, but mainly unsecure.
Okay.
But one of the nature of credit administration is that I used to use the word that if you can't take the heat, don't stay in the kitchen. So yes, we have a lot of issues with delinquency. We have engaged debt collectors. We have even executed court action in some respect. And we are now thinking of even selling some of the debt to some of those institutions who purchase bad debt as a method to recover. But we are operating relentlessly. We will be pursuing them. We have been pursuing them, and the effort will continue.
Yes, I would have imagined that most of these were police officers who would have probably resigned and still have assets with the government.
Yeah, the one that we have issues with is the one who went abroad, really, or abroad. But yes, those locally, we are in pursuit of them.
Right. So have we taken the necessary actions in terms of writing to the ministry to ensure that if those persons should ever apply for their...
Remember, the person's salary or income is sacred, You just really can't levy and make a levy on them unless you had a contractual arrangement. Okay. But the court is there as a backup, If we sue them for the money, then the court has a lot of measures that can be adopted, including distress.
Right. I know that the credit union is aggressive where that is concerned, but let me also use a forum that some of us may be in contact with people like these.
Yes, so you can assist
and a group, if we could influence those who we know that are indebted here. It's a name and shame game, and we have assets tied up in this, so we want to use the opportunity to encourage everyone here. You know anybody? Just encourage them to come and start making arrangements and pay the debt.
Yeah, and that is the reason why we placed it in the record. All right? Good.
And just... Page 117 and 118 has the names.
Right. Thank you for that question, and thanks for the response, CEO and Treasurer. Any other questions? Are we checking our online participants to see if they have questions as well? Good. All right, going once, questions. Going twice. Can I then have a motion for the Treasurer's report to be adopted? Moved by Ms. Jeanette Davis, seconded by Mrs. Patsy Wallen Lindsay. Sorry, Jennifer Dixon. Miss Jennifer Dixon. That's Jennifer Dixon. All right, thank you. All in favor? Any against? Any abstention? The ayes have it. Let me... All right, I hand back to the chairman.
Thank you, sitting in Treasurer. You navigated the waters well as Mr. Murdoch goes through. We now move to our a report from the Credit Committee. Sir Farky? Yeah, man. Come along. Make him welcome, please.
Good afternoon, everyone. After the presentation of the chairman's report and the treasurer's report, then I don't think you shouldn't expect much more for most of what is said. Sir? Okay, sir. Yeah. May I have a motion for the report be taken as read?
Identify the page.
It is, the page is on 97. For the moved by Mrs. Wallin Lindsay. Okay, fine. Moved by Mr. Eric Winton, seconded by Mr. George Hunter. Nice. Okay, the Credit Committee report. It going once? It is taken as read?
Yes, it is taken as read.
So, would you have any question you want to ask of the Credit Committee?
Going once.
Any question going once?
No.
Any
They have indicated ours.
okay.
Twice.
Any question going twice? Is there no other question? Then it is. Thank you for. Okay. Can I have a motion for the adoption of the Credit Committee report? Moved by Mr. Asman Bromfield, our CEO, and seconded by Mr. Courtney Faulkner, our chaplain. Courtney Faulkner, seconded. All in favor of the report? Anyone against? The ayes have it. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Sir Michael Farky, and I, in a public way, I want to wish you all the best as you treat with that little toe there. We all bounce up our toe from time to time, especially if we walk without shoes. So I hope all goes well. Yeah, that is the report of the Credit Committee. All seems to be well there. So we now move to the Supervisory Committee. And we asked, yes, Jason Rodriguez on his feet already. Come, sir, please. Or if you want to reach whichever one. If you want to reach or if you want, whichever one you want. It's up to you. All right, cool. Thank you.
Take off your mask.
Okay.
Completely.
All protocols have been observed. I am Jason Rodriguez. I'm representing the Credit Committee, the Supervisory Committee, sorry. Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. It is my esteemed pleasure to present the Credit Committee report for the year, Supervisory Committee report. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. The Supervisory Committee report for the year ending 2020. The public sector employees corporate credit union has made a significant growth in and seen profitability over the years, especially within the last financial year. Kudos to the management team, staff, volunteers for their collaborative effort in assisting the members to realize their financial aspirations. We are very confident that the credit union not only epitomizes itself as a premier financial institution, but also provides high-quality services to its members. These are noticeable features of the credit union which causes persons to be attracted and continue to do business. Need I remind you that the Supervisory Committee operates as an oversight body for the general operations of the credit union. The committee is vested with the duties and responsibilities to ensure that the credit union is in compliance with the laws, bylaws, regulations, AGM regulations, directives of the Board of Directors, established policies and investigates unresolved complaints from members. In accordance with good governance and practices, the Supervisory Committee is comprised of 5 volunteer members who execute their functions completely independent of the credit union management and officials. At the 52nd Annual General Meeting held at the Jamaica Pegasus Hotel in 2020, the following members were duly elected to serve on the Supervisory Committee. First, Omar Gisdale, yours truly, Jason Rodriguez, Jennifer Dixon Gordon, Sanche Miller McPherson, and Julian Oscar. On Friday, October 23, 2020, in keeping with the Rule 49, Subsection 1, Society Rule, a special meeting was held by the committee to choose the chairman and secretary. Mr. Omar Gisdale and Jennifer were unanimously elected, respectively. And as you can see, provided a table with a possible 14 scheduled meetings, and it was fairly represented by the members. On a monthly basis, the committee would autonomously visit a selected branch of the credit union and subsequently prepare and submit a report to the Board of Directors, its findings and recommendations for greater efficiency. During the period of review, the committee conducted a total of 10 visits at the head office, and 3 at the branch offices were also visited. These visits are normally unannounced with the intent to inspect the daily operations of the branches to ensure that the standards and regulations are being practiced unabatedly. The committee conducts audits and review of various areas of the operations, subsequent monthly reports sent to the board. These include the following: the Board of Directors minutes, surprise cash count, loan verification, delinquency loan portfolio, COVID protocol, know your customers compliance for new accounts, customer compliance, lodgement, customer complaints, lodgement, loans to staff. In conclusion, these are a few words we would like to share with you. Safe, sound, solid. The Supervisory Committee, having assessed the credit union standards of operations, can safely say with confidence that the public sector employs corporate credit union continues to raise the bar in financial safety and soundness, and not to mention quality customer service. Nonetheless, we are committed to the task of being the vanguard in ensuring that we remain vigilant representatives of the members' best interests and high quality standards are maintained. In acknowledging, we wish to record our warmest and sincere thanks to Mr. Nigel Davis, our former chairman for his stalwart contribution to the Supervisory Committee and by extension the credit union over the past few years. We would also like to congratulate and express our gratitude to Mr. Osman Brumfield, the CEO, for accepting an extension of his contract to captain the ship. To the Board of Directors, Management, Credit Committee, and staff for the support and cooperation given to us throughout the year. We are indeed grateful to the administration portfolio for the educational opportunities which will empower us to be more efficient. Last but not least, to the general membership, we accept your confidence shown by electing us to serve for a further term. Thanks cannot be enough. It is our commitment to continue to give selfless service to you and to wish you a successful year. Thank you for listening. Are there any questions?
Good afternoon. My name is Sharmich Barnett. I have a question as it relates to customer complaints. Is there any documentation that you'd like to share in terms of what the complaints are and the nature?
Okay. Most of our complaints at times are informal, and we will advise members to go through the channel, and if it remains unsolved, then we'll put it in formal writing and submit it for actions.
Okay. I didn't really want to put it on the spot. I was asking the number and the nature.
Okay. Well, if it's informal, we wouldn't tabulate. Yeah, there were, but we send persons through the channel first.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Any other question? Going once? Going twice? Any questions from persons online? So, okay, so I move for the now I move for the adoption of the Supervisory Committee report. Any? Moved by Jennifer Dixon Gordon. Seconded by Maurice Chana. Mr. Maurice Chana.
Maurice Chana.
Oh.
Thank you, Sir Rodriguez, for taking us through the Supervisory Committee report. In fact, You mentioned 3 words there that you forced me to use my pen to highlight, and all 3 starts with an S. Talking about the credit union, I say it is safe, sound, and solid. And this is coming from the Watchdog Group. Very, very profound, and we take copious notes of those comments generally. Thank you. We are moving on the agenda. Ladies and gentlemen, all here and in virtual land, thank you for staying with us. And we now ask Ms. Jeanette Davis, our Vice President, to come to the podium and to report as it relates to activities of the nomination committee. Madam Davis.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Good afternoon all, and good afternoon to all the members on the platform. Could you kindly your nomination report on pages 109 to 113. Nomination Committee report. In accordance with Rule 64, governing the operations of the Public Sector Employees Cooperative Credit Union Limited, not less than 90 days prior to each annual general meeting, the Board of Directors shall appoint a nomination committee of 3 members, of which not more than 1 may be a member of the existing Board of Directors. It shall be the duty of the nomination committee to nominate at the vacancy for which elections are being held. The nomination committee was appointed by the Board of Directors at its meeting held on May 13, 2021, and in keeping with Rule 64, the committee comprised of the persons namely below. Yours truly, Gina Davis, Chairperson, Board of Director. Mistress Carleen Allen, Credit Committee. Mistress Tamara Maxwell Green, Deputy CEO, Finance and Admin. In performing its tasks, the committee was guided by the Rule 64A to F. The Board of Directors' current status is as follows. Board of Directors are, and I'm just going to ask the members, as I call their name, to stand. Mr. George Unto. Committee recommends that the Board of Directors below to be elected to serve for another 2 years, seeing that no other nominations were received. And the following 4 names still stands. Mr. George Unto, Mr. Christopher Murdoch, Mr. Errol Adams, and Mr. Andrew Johnson. The credit committee status, current status is as follows. 2 persons retiring for 2021. Michael Farquhar, stand, and Steve Watson. The nomination committees recommend that the credit committee members below be elected to serve for another 2 years. No other nominations were received for this committee. The Supervisory Committee is elected to serve for a period of 1 year, and all members will retire at this annual general meeting. However, based on nomination received and subsequent to assessment, the committee has put forward the following nominees for election by the membership to fill 5 vacancies on the Supervisory Committee to serve for the term of 1 year. The members are Omar Drysdale. Could you stand? Keep standing. Jennifer Dixon Gordon, Julian Oscar, Sanche Miller McPherson, Jason Rodriguez, Okito da Silva, thank you, Shamish Barnett. So we have 7 members and only 5 required for the Supervisory Committee. So for this process, an election will be held. Thank you very much. You can sit. The nomination and the profiles of the candidates are on page 111 and through to 113. You may go through, read, and look at it. They stand already. You may go through, read the profiles of these persons, all of them, all 7, to determine your end result at the end of the election. Before I called the representative from Department of Cooperative and the Friendly Society, and he will be taking us, conducting the election, and also to steer the motion allowing for the board to select delegates and alternative delegates to represent the credit union. Now I call on no other but Mr. Dunn to come forward from Department of Cooperative and Friendly Society for this process. Okay, so Mr. Dunn, you can come forward at this time. Thank you very much.
All right, we have one kind of problem. Nothing, Jason. Julian repeated twice, so one should be Jason.
No, I will mention.
You look okay. Cool. All right, still you see them up?
Yeah, because them have got changed anyway. Okay. Yeah, but let me go through the quick ones. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I will try to do this as quickly as possible so we can move on. According to the Act, we will go through the Board of Directors first, then we'll move to the credit, and the Supervisory Committee is last. Now, you have been issued some ballot slips. You'll see Mr. Julian Oscar is there twice, but you're not going to vote for him twice. My apologies. Mr. Jason Rodriguez should be one of those persons. So I'm asking you to cross out one of Julian Oscar and write in Jason Rodriguez. So Miss Julian Oscar should be there. and then cross out the next one and put Jason Rodriguez. Rodriquez. Am I correct, sir? That's the correct spelling, right? Yeah. Oh, you still not hearing me? Hear me better now? All right. Okay, so with that done, let us move on to the first committee, which is the Board of Directors. Being that it is 4, and I should also remind that there will be no nominations from the floor. This was already passed in the rules, so there will be no nominations from the floor. So the persons up for election is George Hunter, Christopher Murdoch, Earl Adams, and Andrew Johnson. These being the 4 persons, we'll do it simply by majority. So we'll ask, first of all in favor, say aye. Aye. Any against? Any abstention? Well, we have the ayes in here, online. Since we have no abstention, no objections online, the 4 members have passed, so welcome back to the board, ladies and gentlemen. The second committee that we'll be going to is the Credit Committee. Again, 2 vacancies were there, 2 persons were nominated. We may now do it by simple acclamation. Ladies and gentlemen, all in favor of Michael Farquharson and Stephen Watson to serve 2 years? All in favor? Aye. All against? No abstention? Online? Therefore, the ayes have it. Welcome back, Mr. Farquharson and Mr. Watson. Now, we come to your Supervisory Committee, which has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 persons on it. 5 of which were already on the committee before, and you are familiar with them. But I'm asking these 2 new persons to stand so they can be identified. If you want to have a brief 1 minute to say something, you may come up, starting first with Okito da Silva. That's you. You can come and 1 minute. Wait, you want to wipe it? All right. All right, good. I should do it. All right. Take off your mask.
All right, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. All protocols observed. My name is Okito da Silva, and I am seeking to be elected to be a member of the Supervisory Committee. And I'd just like to tell you the reason why. Well, before I go there, I'd just like to give you a brief background. Well, I was employed in the public sector for 6 years. I started out as a clerk of court, and thereafter I went to the office of the DPP, where I served as Crown Counsel. I was a Crown Counsel for 4 years, and whilst at the office of the DPP, I actually had the privilege and opportunity of reviewing several cases in regards to financial institutions. And when the opportunity came up to actually be a member or to be nominated as a member for the Supervisory Committee, I actually took the chance because I believe that I could actually offer my services to this committee in regard, especially since I have actually had the privilege of reviewing several cases in regards to financial institutions. Well, currently I'm no longer at the DPP's office. I'm actually in the private sector. I'm an attorney at law by profession, and I have had the opportunity to interact with several members of security forces, financial institutions, as well as members of the Bank of Jamaica and other supervisory bodies that deal with financial institutions. And based on that, I believe I have a lot to offer. I am also knowledgeable on matters concerning anti-money laundering, as well as counter-terrorist financing, And I do believe that I can again offer my services. If you have no further questions of me, I will take my seat. Any questions? Going once, going twice. I look forward to your nominations. Thank you.
Ms. Barnett is here? Yes. I would try your first name, but I don't want to mess it up. You can use that mic, it might be easier for you.
Yeah.
What you pronounce her name?
Good day, good day. Good day again, everyone. I know it's eating time, but very briefly, my name, for those persons who do not know me, my name is Sharmich Barnett. I'm a member of the Jamaica Constabulary Force. I'm an assistant superintendent. I am currently the admin officer at the St. Catherine North Division. I've been a member of the credit union since December 2014. I joined this credit union being a member of the force. I felt very comfortable coming into the Jamaica Constabulary Force, being a member of the PSECCU credit union. And there are several credit unions in the Jamaica Constabulary Force, and somehow I gravitate towards this particular credit union because of its friendliness of staff, and it is very easy to deal with its members. And so I want to volunteer myself to be of service to this organization. I know it's doing extremely well. I'm very proud of the enhancements I'm seeing in terms of the technology, being online, etc., and all the varying activities that the credit union is moving towards. And so I'm putting myself up for nomination, and I would love for you all to vote for me. Thanks.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, so let me repeat the instructions. 1, you have Miss Julian Oscar on it twice. We're asking you to remove 1 and put on Jason Rodriguez. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 persons are on your slip that has been passed, and I'm assuming everybody has received what do you call it again? Ballot. You are to select 5 persons of your choice. No, spoil, man. You may not have put it. If you don't put on Mr. Rodriguez, your ballot is not spoiled. But if you are voting for Mr. Rodriguez, make sure his name is there, and you put your tick beside it, or X. I've been informed that persons are asking, what if it's only 3 persons I want to vote for? You may vote for 3, you may vote for 1, but you can't vote for more than 5. If I see more than 5 X's, that is it, it's spoiled. I cannot tell you whom to vote for, and tick or X as a clearly defined beside the name of the person that you want to select. Somebody else had a question? Online. Online? We're going to, for persons online, will give us a minute. Within 1 minute, they will be relaunching the ballot, and you re-vote. So the first, let me do it over again for that one. For the persons online, based on the error that was on it, that one did not count. We're going to relaunch the voting capabilities with you with the correct names there, and you select the names that is on it. The new person that will be added is Mr. Jason Rodriguez. All right, that is for the online persons. Yes, madam?
I was told a while ago that the person that handed out the slips insisted that I have to vote for 5 persons.
And I'm correcting that. She wrote it to me.
she said we're not going to get another slip. So am I entitled to another slip now?
No. How much names did you take?
3, but because of her insistence, I did 5.
Is this still good?
3. I don't want 5.
Let me make it clear. It is 5 persons.
I know, but I wanted to vote for 3. So why force me to vote for 5? I wanted to vote for 3.
I know, but you can't get a next ballot back.
Huh?
Your ballot is legal. I can't give you a new ballot.
Yeah, but because of her insistence, she said that she was given instructions.
1 second first. For the record, what is your name, madam? So I can.
Pauline Stewart Reid.
Pauline Stewart Reid.
Insisted that she was given instructions that we could not vote for less than 5.
And I agree with you, madam, and we have chastised, and we have taken our chastisement, but we can't change the ballot. It's 1 ballot you get, madam. Is either it's spoiled or it's good.
Yeah, but
no more new ballots.
So can I cross out the names then?
Cross out the names if you want to.
Oh, that is what you must tell me.
Yeah, man, cross out the names. Come here, come on. I saw somebody else hand up. You ready to collect? You ready to collect? You may start collect the ones in here. As the one online been rectified? All right, ladies and gentlemen, the runners will be going around to collect your ballots. Let me reiterate it again. One of Julian Oscar should be removed and Jason Rodriguez placed on it. You are allowed to vote up to 5 persons. Anything over 5 is considered a spoiled ballot because I would not know who you want. You may put, for those of you who put 5 but never want to vote to 5, only 3, you are allowed to cross out those other 2 and have the 3. So all instructions are clear and we all understand, right? Good. So the runners will be going around collecting. You all up here got yours, right? All right, let's soon collect. Since we are here with the election and for expediency of time, we will continue with the agenda until the votes are ready, and I announce for the last one, which is the Supervisory Committee. But let me charge all committees that one, the board, you will meet 10 days after to select your treasurer, vice president, whoever gazetted posts are, and you submit that within 14 days to the Department of Cooperative and Friendly Societies. You will also meet to select your alternate delegates. The same will go to every other committee that is formed, that they have their days to select. All right. Yes, sir. All right, so we'll await the results. My apologies. I can't believe I forgot that one. Let us move. Let us have first move and second move for the adoption of the nomination committee's report. First mover is?
I so move, sir. Errol Adams is my name.
Errol Adams first. Seconded by? Kellyanne Dixon. All in favor? Any against? Any abstention? Somebody said nay? Oh, any abstention? The ayes have it. Your nomination committee report was accepted. All right, sir.
Thank you, sir. It's done, right?
Yep.
All right. Okay, so we move apace. Thanks, Sir Dunn. You're rolling your dice with your knowledge of wisdom and experience just flowing out. So whilst that is happening, you already seen the start of lunch being served. You're at the first phase. So we too are ensuring that we make very good use of time. So at this moment, I will invite our treasurer to come back to podium to treat with this resolution as it relates to the distribution of surplus and the fixing of the maximum liability. Sir Johnson.
All right, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good afternoon again, everyone. And we are propelling along quite nicely. I want to draw your attention to page 95 of the report. Whilst you peruse it, before I go to this, I just want to put some things into context as you look at it. I want to draw your attention to page 33 of the report of the Treasurer. And I want to emphasize some things on that page. For the first time in the history of our credit union, we have seen savings surpassing the $2 billion mark. I want us to just note that savings have grown and gone past $2 billion. Our credit union's growth has been very significant, and I want to refer again to the line that says this makes us one of the fastest growing financial institutions in the year 2020. I want to point out as well the fact that we have crossed over the $3 billion mark for assets. $3 billion in terms of assets. And I want to also emphasize the fact that this was our most profitable year in the history of the credit union, seeing a profit of $45.5 million. In that context, we are proposing the following distribution of the surplus. That 20 million is placed in dividend or permanent shares, sent back to you, the members. Permanent shares fund, transfer fund, permanent share transfer fund, 2 million. Honoraria, 5 million. AGM reserve, 4 million. Debit card provision, 2 million. Memorial scholarship, 800,000. PEP grant, 1 million. And that would leave us with an undistributed portion of 59,000. I invite your comment, queries relative to this proposal. Right, so online, is there any query online? Good. Going once, going twice, going 3 times, and so gone. We take a all right, so I now ask for a motion for the adoption of the resolution for the distribution of the surplus. Can I have someone move the motion? Moved by Mr. Osman Bromfield and seconded by Mr. Anthony Lewis. In keeping with Rule 69, your board of directors proposed that the maximum liability, moving a little too fast. Those in favor? Any against? Any abstention? The ayes have it. So in keeping with Rule 69, your Board of Directors proposed that the maximum liability for the loans that the Board of Directors may borrow to be set at 16 times the Society's capital and reserve funds. May I have a motion moved by Mr. Errol Adams, seconded by Mr. George Hunter. I thank you for your cooperation and is there any online? Okay, I'm holding a second. Oh, hand was raised online. Okay. Let's see. Right, 2 hands were raised on our online platform. We want to know the nature of the queries. Could you, will we get their audio? Right, just open your mic and make that query.
Mike?
We're not hearing the person. So,
right, the persons online who had raised their hands, we want you to repeat what you had said. We are going to try and amplify what you are saying for the purpose of the meeting.
You can tell Cecile Hines to go ahead.
Cecil Hines, please go ahead with your query.
Not hearing. Go to call.
Have the person type in the chat.
All right, we are not hearing you, so we are going to ask that you type your query in the chat.
There's another person, Nigel David.
Make sure that you are not muted and try, but if not, type your query in the chat. I see Mr. Hines is still trying to, make sure you are not muted, Mr. Hines.
Person typing.
Right, we are having issues with your sound. For those who are on the online platform and trying to talk to us, I'm going to ask that you type your query. Type the query and send it.
No, you are reading. I don't have an issue. Is it there? Maybe not. Maybe I'm changing mine. Nobody else is hearing him online. I'm not sure. That she's hearing him.
I heard it. I heard it. I heard it. But I'm not hearing it. They're not hearing it, but I heard it. I heard him speaking. Yeah, it's not. It's being heard here, but it's not being heard.
Niger is proposing that the surplus being shared 50-50 from
I already know. The question. Go ahead.
Question.
Yeah.
Hello? No?
No.
No, I just speak. I'm not hearing anything. Hello? Yes, hearing me now? Hello? Hearing?
Not hearing.
Can we, we can protect that section over there. Ordinary deposits. Ordinary deposits.
50% to ordinary shares and 50% to deposit. To permanent shares and 50% to deposit. CEO. All right, the CEO is going to respond.
So you're proposing that we pay 50% cash dividend and 50% of the permanent share. That's a question?
Yes.
Yes, yes.
Okay, all right. That's it.
All right, so that's accepted.
Yes, yes.
Okay, all right.
All right, so that's accepted.
Yes, yes.
Okay, all right.
So that's accepted.
Okay, all right.
All right, 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 so that's accepted.
Okay, all right.
Yep.
Two. Mic check.
So
Right, members.
we're taking 9 suggestions.
The suggestion by Mr. Hines was that we pay 50% of the amount to be distributed to your permanent shares and 50% comes to you as cash. We have no issues with that, but I am just going to ask you to indicate whether or not you are on the same page as we are in that regard. So the member has proposed it, the board has no issues with it. Just a quick vote. All in favor of that proposal? Let me get the ayes.
All in favor?
All right. I'm not sure if you're all hearing me. Let me just repeat. The proposal on the table is for the distribution to be 50% to permanent shares, 50% to cash. The dividend is what we're talking about. That's what we're talking about. Right. Right, so the proposal on the table for the dividend to be paid out, we're recommending to be paid out, that 50% of that goes to your permanent shares and 50% comes to you as cash. So let's get the vote now. All in favor? Any abstention? Any against? All right, the ayes have it. Any other query in relation to the distribution? So then can I have, I had moved on to the two ones are raised online just. Is there any other text coming in with any other query?
Mr. Hines stated. Afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Just quickly, Mr. Hines responded. And what he said is now in favor? He has now changed his mind and said he wants his 100% cash.
All right. We appreciate Mr. Hines.
Hold on. One other person, Georgette Edwards, says she's in favor of the 50-50. That was her question. So Ms. Hines has been answered. Ms. Edwards has been answered. The other person is Latoya Fraser. I'm asking you to type your question because I'm not seeing your question.
Right. In relation to Mr. Hines, we appreciate his participation and suggestion. It had already been put to the membership and it has been voted on, and so that matter is now at rest.
All right, Mr. Hines, he said that they put it forward. The original proposal which he had put was just 50-50, and the membership has already passed that matter. Mr. Fraser is now saying that he wants it all to him ordinary deposit. That one you'd have to treat with him. Understand what I'm saying?
So Fraser is saying that 100%?
So now, for simplicity, you have to discuss it now. All right, Mr. Fraser.
So done. You don't have to move from where you are. You are here and you are speaking to them directly, and you are aware that the motion has already been put to the floor and passed. So just please inform them accordingly.
So Mr. Fraser, and all online, read the matter. May I apologize a little bit for the delay, the slow response. However, the matter has been decided by your members, which is 50% to your permanent shares and 50% to your ordinary deposit.
All right, so I'm going back to the fixing of the maximum liability, and I had not taken a vote on that. So just to remind you that we are asking you to give us the authority to fix the liability at 16 times the society's capital and reserve funds, which is what is normal. So can I have, I think we have gotten a motion already. Can I have those who are in favor? Any abstention? Any against? So the ayes have it. Can you remind me of the movers for that motion? You can't go back. I think it was, you had moved, you had seconded it or moved it? It was Mr. Bramfield? Mr. Adams? It was Mr. Errol Adams who moved it and seconded by Mr. George Hunter. You're welcome. Thank you all for your cooperation. I am handing back to Chairman.
Okay, so we are still waiting on Sir Dunn to come to us. The votes are still being treated. Thanks, Mr. Treasurer, for taking us through that aspect of our agenda and for the participation of our membership, both here and those online. We are really continuing to break grounds in going forward with all the necessary new mechanisms and technologies at our disposal. And I am really delighted that our membership had the chance to participate, especially those that are in the virtual world. Whilst we still await Sir Dunn, he's monitoring things tightly over there. Then we now have the appointment of auditors. Sir Bramfield, we are recommending Crow as the auditors to continue to be the person to treat with this very vital and important part of our business. Do we need to put that to the vote, sir? Yeah, we need to put it to the vote. We need to have a move on a seconder. Moved by Osman Bramfield, seconded by Jeanette Davis. So, in terms of the appointment of auditors, Crow will remain as the person. Oh, say we on that move? Any against? Any abstention? Motion carries. So Crow will continue to be that entity that looks at all the pros and cons of our financial business. And we look forward to coming back here in 2022. We are now at Mr. Dunn still. Mr. Dunn, the election committee is still at work, out in the fields doing their thing. So whilst that is occurring, we will move to we now move to any other matter. Mrs. Green, Mrs. Maxwell Green. We have some coming up. You don't have to come here, but we have drawing of prizes coming up. I know that you and Madam Kelly and Dixon from marketing always marshal that part of things. So we have that to come. So we are riding and whistling as we go along, making the best use of time. And I'm still seeing where Mr. Dunn has not finished what is happening out in the election field. At this point, is there any other matter? At this point, is there any other matter that anyone wishes to raise? whether here or in the virtual world, is there any other matter that anyone wishes to raise? Going once? I am looking down at the technical here to see if any, nothing happening there, okay. Going twice? Any other matter? I have just got an indication from CEO to hold a sec. I know he wants to. One sec, please. All right, so we're finally getting CEO to come to the podium. Over to you, sir.
Good afternoon again, ladies and gentlemen. I just want to bring your attention to 117 of the report. And this is delinquent loan as of June 30th, 2021. And we are proposing a charge-off of some $36,202,069.45. The list of delinquent members are there, and the amount owing is also there. But delinquency management requires that we have to make timely write-off, even though the record will still carry the amount owing, albeit not on the main account. It will be lodged in a subsidiary account. This write-off will be done from the provision that was already made. And you recall the report was saying that we have some provision of about 80 million thereabout. Let me just verify that for you. So Murdoch, you didn't mention anything about delinquency here, did you? I know from my recollection it was about 72 million there as provision for delinquency. 64 million. For page 64. So I take you to page 64, where we have total delinquency of some 76,870,820. We are proposing to write off 36 million thereabout. But this write-off will be funded from the provision that is already made, meaning that it was already costed, taken out of the income of the business and set aside for delinquency. What you'll find is that the write-off will reduce the total delinquency that we have, and therefore give us a better rate in terms of delinquency rate. I think we are averaging about 3% as we speak. When we write down 36 million, it will bring us about 1.5%. And perhaps when we add current year delinquency, it may bring us about 2.5%. So I'm proposing that this motion be proposed, and I'm asking for a mover. Moved by Ms. Davis, moved by Mr. Lewis, seconded by Ms. Davis. Those who in favor? Those against? Any abstention? The ayes have it. Thank you. Mr. Allen?
Yes, sir, right here. Thank you very much, CEO. All right, so Sir Dunn is almost ready, but still at it as it relates to elections. So we had close off on it. So we have drawing of prizes. Drawing of prizes. All right, so we have, Sir Dunn is still at it. So although you're seeing lunch as item 17, lunch is well and truly on, and I see where Drysdale is doing his thing as it relates to lunch. So we go to join of prizes. We're going to join of prizes. We have a few questions here that we'll ask, and no, so one question that is just online, not everybody here can answer it, just online. So we have what I learned from the team managing prizes is that what we have are some lovely vouchers in this Christmas time, some vouchers that you can go to places like Mega Mart, and you also have some what? Gas coupon, gas vouchers where you can petrol up. So those are what are on offer for the prize area. Can our online people participate in it? Sure. What we will do, there is a question or two that we will ask where nobody who is in this room with me will respond to. It will strictly be an online person who will need to respond, and to, if there's nobody online, then we come right back at John shop here and treat with it. So we're going to start out, and then I was also informed that there is a particular member here happened to be in uniform who became the 100th member as it relates to our quorum for this morning, and they are one of the coupon for such a person, and it is that young man over there in his uniform. That is DSP Noel Daly. Sir Daly, Deputy Superintendent, come forward, sir. Right? We ask Miss Kelly and Dixon, our marketing manager, to make this presentation to Sir Daly, or his assistant, sorry. All right, good to see you, Noel. Good to see you. Assistant Superintendent Noel Daly. From whence we came, my friend. You are ready, Sir Dunn? I am going to yield to our Director of Elections, Sir Dunn, as he is ready to announce the outcome of the Supervisory Committee. Over to you, sir.
Sorry for disturbing lunch again, ladies and gentlemen. Let me go through each person and the votes that they receive and tell you the 5 persons who have been selected. First, Omar Drysdale, 106 total votes. Junifer Dixon Gordon, 102 total votes. Miss Julian Oscar, 108 total votes. Sanche Miller McPherson, 97. Jason Rodriguez, 96. Okita De Silva, 38. Sharmich Barnett, 26. So the persons who have been elected to serve for 1 year is Omar Drysdale, Jennifer Dixon, Julian Oscar, Sanche Miller McPherson, and Jason Rodriguez. All right? You are charged the same to meet, select chairman, secretary, and submit it within 10 days.
Let me put on record my sincere appreciation to Mr. Dunn from the league, from the registrar, for the able and capable way in which he has led this process, but overall in terms of his whole guidance and participation, suggestions and advice throughout the proceedings. Thank you very much. Let me also use the opportunity to congratulate all those persons who were re-elected to board, re-elected to Supervisory Committee, re-elected to Credit Committee. Let me also applaud the persons who at least reach on to the nomination, Mr. Okito, and Madam Sharmish Barnett, person that I have worked with for years. Some persons on these very boards and committees will tell you that they tried and tried and tried until they finally make it. So, and it is very encouraging when we are finding persons who are willing to offer themselves for service and to be a part of an entity, of a family. People coming to want to be a part in that regard, it speaks volume in many respects, and we applaud them sincerely. So we go back now to prizes, which is basically the second to last item to wrap up today's Friday's agenda. And so we go with this first question online. This one is strictly for online. We're asking our technical persons to work with us in this area. In what year did the Mobile branch relocate to its new address? In what year? And this is online. Getting any responses? Not getting any yet? We're still going to give them a little time, a few seconds. And you're getting some now? Who is that? Nigel Davis? Find out what he says there for us.
Nigel Davis, but he hasn't given a response as yet.
Davis, if you are hearing the Davis, we are waiting on your response. We have acknowledged you with your Davis, if you are hearing the Davis, we are waiting on your response. We have acknowledged you with your Davis, if you are hearing the Davis, is not correct.
All right.
Is there any other hand online?
Yes, there is Kimisha. She said 2019.
Yes, that second person is correct. What's the name?
Kimisha Launderton.
Kimisha Launderton?
Right.
Right, so she has won herself a gift voucher valuing a total of $5,000 to go where? To go Mega Mart to shop this Christmas. Congratulations to Miss Launderton. We're going to come back online with another one in a short while, but I come right back home now. And right in this very room, George Hunter and others help we look, make we see who wanna go up first as we go to this one. In what year did the credit union renamed or rebrand to Public Sector Employees Credit Union? Yeah, I see a policeman in uniform there. Stand up and declare yourself, young man. If it is 2014, no, sir, you're not correct. Sorry. Yes, here is another hand. This look like Miss Parks without a he. Repeat that. October what? 2017. Is she correct? No, she's not correct. It is 2017. We asked her just for the year. She give me month and day. Congratulations, Miss Marks. All right, please come and collect your prize. I say he's a frequent winner. Yes. No, and she is very participative. We can only applaud her and love her more for that. Where's the photograph? No, these are moments that we have to capture, you know. No, we can't ban her. We want to bring more our colleagues come. Public sector with him. So this is a gift voucher for all of $5,000 worth of petrol. Yeah, that basically for some of us the type of vehicle we drive that full with tank. I know if Mr. Adder's vehicle it take about 15,000, but I'm not going to have business. Not going to have it. So, all right, one more from right here before we go back online. You know, me start to like the online and this thing. What you call it, Mr. Brammy? Hybrid. I don't know, easy, you know. All right. So hear this one now. This is for year. What year anniversary did the credit union celebrate in 2000? What year anniversary did the credit union celebrate in 2000? That person who operated the camera, a member? Go ahead, please. No, you're not correct. Sorry. Yes, CCU? 32, you are correct. You are correct, 32. Come on up, come on up. Come on up. What is he getting? Mega Mart voucher for 20,000. Mega Mart voucher for all of $5,000. So go to Mega Mart. Nicoyan Brown. Yes. Yeah, man. Come on, smile and take your picture, man. At $5,000 worth of money. You know? Very good, very good. Thanks for your participation, sir. All right, so we're going back online now. By the way, you have about whole heap of prize left, so we have a few more, eh? Right, so this one is online. I'm going online again. Online, folks, get ready. What is the credit union's tagline? Online folks, what is the credit union's tagline? Anything right. Going on, John Shop?
Yes, the first person is Miss Spencer.
Miss Spencer?
I'm just waiting for her to
yeah, man, wait for her. All right. What is the credit union's tagline?
I don't know. She's where your financial security matters most.
That she said?
Where your financial
security that she said matters most. Congratulations online to remind me of the name, sir.
Antoinette Spencer.
Alright, so congratulations online to Antoinette Spencer. Madam Marketing Officer, what does she get? You get a gas voucher. Well, if you ask her if she have car, sir? She still will, but we'll switch around between the car and supermarket. So you mind, mister? Could you just ask her if she drive, please? We don't want to go so far. We don't want to have people with choices now, whatever you're winning. What, yes. She drive?
Yes, she does.
She excellent. So, what's your name again, Spencer?
Yes, sir, Spencer.
Right, so Madam Spencer has just won a voucher valuing, look at the value, $5,000. Congratulations to Madam Spencer online with that one. How many more we have? This is the final one? You know no more mega bar something? You know that a little bit will come in? So we have one more. And this is for here. This is for writer John Shapiro. Yes, let me see who will get this now. In what year did the credit union rebrand to National Security Employees Credit Union? In what year? Yeah, ma'am, him first? Turn up and tell me. 2014. Huh? 2014. What is it, 1214? Oh, sorry, ma'am. He said 2014. Is he correct? Come forward, sir. For once in your life, you're going to be standing beside a beautiful lady. Receive your prize. Where? Oh, you never have any man. Come. Yeah, man, come down your thing. We're very conscious of.
My name is,
for the record. My name
is
Cecil McCullough. Yes, Cecil McCullough. Congratulations. Congratulations, Mr. McCullough. Congratulations. That concludes what you have there, madam. So that is it, ladies and gentlemen, with regards to prizes. So we took care of both. Hello, miss. We took care of both online and we took care of our in-house. So we are really hybrid. Colleagues, we are at that point. I did any other matter already, you know? Yeah, I did that already. Right. We are at that point. All that has been achieved, all that we have been able to realize, another year closing, both in terms of a physical year closing, a financial year of 2020 that has closed, and how it is that we were able to come and report to the membership that elected us to serve. I still stand here feeling proud on behalf of the entire team for what we were able to accomplish for the year in review. But the real thanks we are asking for our Assistant Secretary, Miss Daisy and Graham, to come forward and to formally say thanks for this engagement. Madam Graham.
'53 is never looking so great. Mr. Chairman, ladies and gentlemen, online and in-house, good afternoon. My job is a pleasurable one of just saying thanks. We want to express and show gratitude because we do know that all things in life are a collaborative effort, whether directly or indirectly, intentional or not. The PSECCU Credit Union is no exception. Today, as we officially put a cap on 53 years of existence, moving from a very small credit union to the powerhouse we are today, let me first say thanks to our forefathers, the architects, and the first captain of the ship. We thank them for their vision and to set the platform for the future in the form of our CEO, Mr. Osmond Bromfield, who today, through his vision, has built a big enough ship that is sailing strong on some rough tides. We also want to recognize Deputy CEOs Mrs. Tamara Maxwell Green and Mr. Charles Tam, who is not only by the CEO side, but they are on his side, steering this big ship. Thank you. What would this AGM be without a high-spirited...
Colleagues, please. Thank you.
As I was saying, what would this AGM be without a high-spirited, energetic chairperson in the form of Mr. Calvin Allen? Thank you, sir. Good job. To my esteemed colleagues on the board, the Credit Committee, and the Supervisory Committee, for your steady hand in guiding our effort, in guiding our affairs and helping to keep this ship afloat. Continue to demonstrate your commitment to the task at hand. To the able management team, Ms. Lisa Harry, Administration and Support Services Manager, Ms. Kellyanne Dixon, Marketing and Communications Manager, Ms. Tracy Ann Francis, Credit Administration Manager, Cesare Rodney, Information Technology Manager, Kimon Cameron, Accounts Manager, to our branch managers, Ms. Raquel Walters, Portmore, Mr. Sheldon Francis, Montego Bay, Mrs. Alicia Graham Carter, Manchester, Ms. Patricia Dawson, Branch Supervisory Manager for St. Mary. Thank you all for your hand in making this credit union a success. The able management team provided the necessary support as well as the leadership required for the PSECCU staff in our efforts to fulfill our mission. Thanks a million. To the ever valuable PSECCU staff who really make things happen around here. I just want to say on behalf of the CEO, the deputy CEOs, the board and the committees, thank you for your time, your talent, and your passion. You continue to help us keep this ship afloat despite the many challenges, particularly a global pandemic. Our gratitude to the AGM committee who planned and executed such successful event. You can now exhale. An event of this nature, as Mr. Allen refers to it as hybrid, is not an easy one to plan. And so we want to tell you thank you for your efforts. To our specially invited guests, Mrs. Katrina Grant de Aguilar from the Jamaica Co-op Credit Union League, Mr. Richard Dunn from the Department of Co-op and Friendly Societies, Mrs. Vanessa Porter Allen, also from Department of Corporate and Friendly Societies, Mr. Dawkins Brown, Crow from Crow Horse, and Mr. Carl Bryan, our stenographer. We really appreciate your support. You, over the years, have continuously graced us with your presence, and you have given us the continued support. Please accept our sincerest gratitude. And how could we ever leave out the media? WD Multimedia, as well as our own CCU, thank you for your continuous support of the work at the PSECCU Credit Union. You are always ready to support us when we call. To all our stakeholders, past and present, who have made this journey to 53 adventurous and worthwhile, words cannot express our gratitude. Last and certainly not least, to you, our valued and vibrant members, thank you for showing up, not just today. You are here with us online, our Zoomers. We really appreciate your participation. Each of you is an owner of this credit union, regardless of how much money you deposit. Continue to exercise your vote. You, our members, have kept us afloat through your continued business with the credit union. We are eternally grateful. Again, thanks to everyone for being here and online. Thank you all for your contribution in making the PSECCU Credit Union a big ship sailing on the ocean. Freddie McGregor's voice. See you next year, and bless you all.
So you now realize that I couldn't have said it. As energetic as you might think I am, I could not have said it as and the way in which Madam Dacian has done. Colleagues, we are at the end, termination. It's just for me to just echo back 2 words out of Madam Graham point a while ago when she said about the staff and where we have reached, as to thanking them for their time, talent and passion. Time, talent, tenacity, passion. Thank you, the members here and online. You are still online. We're looking at you on screen, online there. Thanks for your tremendous participation. For those persons who have won prizes online, for those who have won prizes here, $5,000 makes a big difference in terms of even filling up your vehicle for a week, or even picking up one of those Bossy ham in Mega Mart. Thank you all. It is all of us that has made this work, right? And I really appreciate that. Let me once again wish for you all a Merry Christmas. Stay safe. Follow the necessary protocols. From the perspective of your own personal safety, listen to the necessary tips that continue to be disseminated in terms of where you go to shop, in terms of the amount of monies you decide to withdraw at any one time, in terms of the ATM you choose to engage. You are seeing some videos and you must make sense of some of the videos you are seeing as to where these guys are, where they hang out, and where they choose to make their attempts. So we're encouraging you to be safe. Come 2022, we all want to ensure that we are in one piece and that we put out the necessary efforts in that regard. Take care on the road. We basically have to say right now, it is defensive driving that you have to do on the road right now. Anticipating, remaining alert and being anticipative of whatever goes. Have a good, today is Friday, have a good afternoon. Pardon me? Yes. Right. So, again, thanks are done. So may we have a motion for the adjournment. Moved by Christopher Murdoch. Seconded by Sanchez Miller Gordon. Miller McPherson. You have that, sir? Right. All in favor? Hold on. Is it first minute I get now? Yes. We want to stay. All in favor? Okay. All right. Good, good. Any against? Any abstention? Thank you very much all. Be safe. Blessings.